Have you ever noticed how two people can earn the same amount of money, yet one keeps struggling while the other keeps growing, saving, and investing with ease? It's not because one is smarter or luckier, but because money decisions are rarely logical. Most of the time, they are emotional, automatic, and driven by habits we don't even realize we have. Every swipe, every impulse buy, every "I deserve this" moment is guided by psychology, not math. And once you understand that, money stops being confusing and starts making sense. The psychology of spending money is not about budgets, spreadsheets, or cutting your lifestyle in half. It's about understanding why your brain pushes you to spend in certain moments, why temptation feels stronger when you're tired or stressed, and why saving feels boring compared to buying something new. From childhood conditioning to social pressure and instant gratification, your mind is constantly influencing how you use money. When you become aware of these hidden forces, you stop reacting and start choosing. That awareness alone can quietly transform your financial future without forcing you to feel deprived or guilty. Most people don't spend money because they need something. They spend because they feel something. Stress after a long day, boredom on a quiet night, sadness that needs comfort, or even happiness that demands a reward. Shopping triggers dopamine, the same chemical linked to pleasure and motivation, which is why buying feels so good in the moment. The brain learns this pattern quickly: feel bad, spend money, feel better for a short time. The problem is that emotions fade, but the financial damage stays. That new item loses excitement, the receipt remains, and guilt quietly replaces joy. Emotional spending becomes dangerous because it disguises itself as self-care. The phrase, "I deserve this," often appears when emotions are strongest, not when logic agrees. Understanding this doesn't mean never enjoying money. It means recognizing when spending is driven by emotion instead of intention. Once you pause and name the feeling behind a purchase, you regain control. Awareness turns impulsive reactions into conscious decisions. Your brain is wired to prefer pleasure now rather than security later, and this single trait shapes most spending habits. Instant gratification feels natural because the future feels distant and abstract, while the present feels real and urgent. Saving money offers no immediate reward, but spending does, which is why resisting temptation feels like effort. Modern systems exploit this weakness perfectly through one-click purchases, credit cards, and buy now, pay later options. They remove friction, making spending feel effortless and painless. Delayed gratification, on the other hand, requires discipline and vision, skills rarely taught early in life. Wealthy thinkers train themselves to tolerate short-term discomfort for long-term freedom. They understand that every dollar saved is delayed pleasure, not denied pleasure. When you learn to slow down decisions and visualize the future benefit, the emotional pull weakens. Mastering the skill is less about willpower and more about perspective. A large part of spending has nothing to do with personal desire and everything to do with other people. Humans are social by nature, and money often becomes a tool for belonging, approval, and status. People buy clothes, cars, gadgets, and lifestyles to signal success, not necessarily to enjoy them. Social media intensifies this pressure by displaying curated versions of wealth that ignore debt and stress behind the scenes. The brain compares constantly, even when it knows the comparison is unrealistic. This creates silent competition where spending becomes a response to insecurity. Many people try to live someone else's life with their own income. True financial peace begins when comparison ends. Quiet wealth grows by ignoring applause and focusing on alignment. When spending decisions are no longer influenced by others' opinions, money starts working for you instead of against you. The way you pay changes how much you spend, even if the amount is the same. Cash creates a psychological pain of paying because you physically see money leaving your hands. Digital payments remove that pain by turning money into numbers on a screen. Swiping a card or tapping a phone feels effortless, which disconnects the brain from the reality of loss. This illusion makes overspending easier and more frequent. Subscription models thrive because they hide payments in the background, reducing awareness. When the brain doesn't feel the loss, it doesn't activate caution. Small amounts repeated over time quietly drain finances. Reintroducing friction is a powerful awareness tool. Tracking expenses, delaying purchases, or using cash for certain categories can restore sensitivity. The goal is not restriction, but clarity. When you feel the cost, you respect the decision. Conscious payment leads to conscious spending. Many purchases are not about the item itself, but about who we believe it makes us. People spend to reinforce identity: successful, generous, stylish, powerful, or deserving. Money becomes a way to tell ourselves a story about who we are. This is why spending often increases after achievements or during insecurity. The purchase feels like validation. The danger appears when ego, not value, leads decisions. Wealthy individuals separate identity from consumption. They don't need purchases to prove worth. They buy for function, long-term value, and alignment with goals. When identity is stable, spending becomes calm and intentional. Ask yourself before buying, is this serving my future or my image? That single question exposes motive instantly. When ego steps back, money flows with purpose. True confidence doesn't need receipts to feel real. The way you spend money is a reflection of how you think, feel, and see yourself, not just how much you earn. Every financial decision carries an emotional and psychological story behind it, whether you notice it or not. When you understand those patterns, money stops controlling you and starts responding to you. This awareness is not about restriction, guilt, or living small. It is about clarity and intention. You don't need to change everything overnight, you just need to start observing. Notice the emotions before you spend, the impulses that rush you, and the identities you try to protect. Small moments of awareness create powerful shifts over time. When spending aligns with values instead of feelings, peace replaces stress. Master your psychology and your money will naturally follow.